welcome back to one of my cooking videos. Today we are going to be cooking a traditional Cornish pasty. Now Cornish pasties go back to about the 13th century. They became more popular in the 17th and 18th century when they used to be made for the miners working the tin mines in Cornwall. And they were made by the wives. Now if you wanted my Cornish pasties and shape for tea with thick crust, apparently the thick crust is there because they used to hold that to eat it because they had so much arsenic on their hands that was like a handle to eat the pasty with. Now the original pasty apparently had meat in one end, like 2/3, and then a fruit or jam, a dessert, in the other end, so it's one meal in one. Seems to have gone off of that in recent years, it's just all meat now, but apparently the traditional one was half meat, half fruit or whatever, so it made a complete meal for them. Now did you also know they used to throw the crust away, because it was all in the thick crust they used to handle, because they had to feed what was called the knockers. Now some people say the knockers in the mines were ghosts of old miners. Some say they were sprites or mischievous imps that if you didn't feed them to bribe them, that you would then get misfortune put upon you. So they used to eat those and throw the crust down into a corner somewhere just to appease the sprites, imps, knockers, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, so hopefully this one's going to come out alright. Never done one like this before, so it's going to be interesting. So thanks again for watching, hope you enjoyed it one. Look at my other video, I went to a race meeting recently, check that one out as well, see what you think of that one. Anyway, over here, let's see what we're cooking with this week, and we crack on with getting this Cornish pasty done. Right, for this Cornish pasty, we've got 300 grams there of a short crust pastry, which was 300 grams of plain flour, then 150 grams of whatever fat you want to use. I've used half margarine, half lard. A bit of salt in there and just mix it up and chill that little bit to make the cases for the Cornish pasty. Now we're going to be using there, I've got 300 grams there of beef. Now I've got there 225 grams of potato, which is finely diced about 1/4 inches. 115 grams of swede chopped up small pieces, 115 grams of onion, bit of salt and pepper, 1 egg to glaze it with. Now for the dessert part of the pasty, I'm going to be using some apples. I've got some sliced up brownie apples and half an apple here. I don't think I'm going to use it all. And a handful of black currants, which I picked last time I went fishing from the bushes. So there we go. So that's what we're going to do. First of all, we need to separate this pastry into 2 bits and make the cases. So let's crack on and make those cases first of all. They need them about 8 to 9 inch circles. So I've got a paper plate here. I'm just going to put that on there. That's about 9 inch across. Gently cut around that. Get a nice semicircular shape. There we go. Take off the excess pastry. Now keep this excess pastry because you've got to make a little flap for the inside. So there we go. One nice semicircle there of pastry. So that's going to do one. You need to do 2 of those because we're making 2 pasties with this. If you need more pasties, just double up on the amount of short crust pastry. But I'm only making 2 pasties today. Right, so before I make the second case for the pasty, first of all, what we need to do, while I'm going to do that, just got to mix all our ingredients together. So you basically just put your beef in there, and as you can see, they are really tiny little pieces. It's not very big, the pieces, because you do need them to cook. And then basically just put in your swede, onion, potato, your salt and pepper. Now I just need to mix all that up so it's all mixed up with the salt and the pepper, and it's all mixed up together so you're not getting one big load of beef or a big load of vegetables. So then put that aside, and then we go on and do our second case. Right, so that's the first case, and as you can see, I've made a little bit of a flap, what we call a flap with the oven, a bit of pastry there. So what we need to do, I'm going to brush this whole case on the inside with beaten egg. And then what we need to do, on one side, you are just going to put some of your meat and vegetable mix, like so. Leave a fair amount on the edge there. so. And then what you're going to do with this little flap, put some beaten egg on it there, then put it to this side. I don't know if you can see what I'm actually doing there. Let's turn this around. There we go. So you put your flap to one side of the pasty there, beaten egg, just make sure you push it down. You really need that to get over the edge there. Right. Now that's going to be the first bit of meat mixture. I'll put a little bit more on top there. I'm just going to wash my hands for this next bit. So on the next bit, what we now do, we now get a bit of your apple on this bit here, and just fill this side. And you can use jam or whatever fruit is in season, apparently is what they used. I'm just going to put a bit of apple on here, a couple little blackberries up the top there. Put up a little bit of more apple. Couple more blackberries on there. I think that is going to be enough. Now here comes the tricky bit. So a bit more beaten egg on the edge there. Need to make sure, whoops, it's all collapsing. We need to make sure this really gets sealed up. And hopefully the apple nut will not sort of melt into the meat. So just sprinkle a little bit of sugar on top of your apple and blackberry there. You can use brown sugar if you want. You can even use cinnamon. Some people use cinnamon as well. And then gently fold over carefully as you can. Hopefully I haven't overfilled it, which it looks like I've overfilled. Squidge it down. Yep, that's squidging down nicely. You can take a bit of this apple out because it's overfilled slightly. Oops, it's broken through there. This is a bit fiddly. Make sure you squidge all that down. Let's get rid of this mess here. I think there'll still be enough in there. Now we come to the crimping bit. So I'm just going to put a bit more beaten egg on there. Now get the end, you just pull it up, you just gently fold over like so. Let's bring that up. That's it, so we've got a nice layer there. And then, never done this before, but you've got to fold one over and sort of crimp it if you can. Well, I think my crimping skills need actually a bit of work on. Well, apparently a true Cornish, what's leaking out there, a true Cornish pasty apparently has 21 crimps in it. But I think you've got to be a bit of an expert to do that. Right, that's the first one. It's not looking 100% brilliant, but let's get it on the tray. Now put this on a baking tray, very gently. There we go. Like they say, it's what it tastes like that matters, so let's a bit more beaten egg over the top. That's one. I'm now going to go on to make the second one. Fingers crossed that comes out a bit better. I've made this second one slightly, a little bit bigger. I won't put so much filling this time, which means I'll have some filling left over, but I'll put that in the fridge. And I think I might use that tomorrow to make a pie or something. So there we go. So that's beaten egg on the inside. Again, a little bit of your meat, potato, sweet onion mix, the end there. Make sure I don't overpack this one either. A little bit more on this end. That should do. Wash hands. Again, this side. Oh, no, there's my other flap I've just made. So just gonna bake an egg on there. Make sure that is nicely sealed in along there. You don't want it leaking in. And I'm just gonna put in some apple and blackcurrant on this side again. Now if you don't want to put slices, you can sort of chop up into little fine bits. I thought I'd try slices, so. And also what you should do, which I didn't do on the last one, the side where you've got the fruit jam or whatever, cut a little bit of pastry out and put your initials on there, just so you know what side you've got to eat last. So I think that's not going to be enough in there. I'm not going to overfill that one. Just a little sprinkling of sugar on the apple, blackcurrant there. And here it comes, second time, let's give it a try. No. Yeah. Tuck that in there. Roll it over. Here it comes, yep, that's coming over. What was coming out a bit there? Oops. I need to put a bit of pastry on there, I think. Just put a bit of pastry on this bit where the fruit is. Now actually then I will know that that bit is got the fruit in. So let's try and roll up that edge. I'm not going to try and crimp it. I'm obviously not. That needs a lot of pressure. So I'm just going to roll it over. So at least it will make a bit of a thick handle anyway. So when it comes out, there we go. Let's try it this way. So well, it looks a bit more fancy than the other one. So again, beaten egg over the top. When you got the oven on, so preheat the oven, 200 degrees, 400 Fahrenheit, gas mark 6 for the first 20 minutes. And then after that, then turn it down to 160 centigrade, 325 Fahrenheit, gas mark 3-4 for another 30 minutes when you make sure that it's all cooked in there. So let me just put that in there. Just put a little smidgen of a hole in the top, just to let the steam out. Right, let's put that on the tray. There we go. 2 traditional Cornish pasties with meat and fruit in the oven. So let's put them in the oven, like I said, at 200 centigrade, 400 Fahrenheit, gas 6 for 20 minutes, and then turn it down. So, and then once that's cooked, we'll come back and see what they're like. Right, so they're now out in the oven, a few little holes in them, but overall, yeah, the bottom's fine, held up pretty well. Oh, let's come away then. Now, I'm not going to try and eat at the moment, because they are still quite hot, so I'm going to let them cool down before I even attempt to try and taste one. Well, it's been cooling down for a while, so let me just pick it up and bite into it. No knife. Oops, I'm in the way. Actually, cut it in half. That's the meat, sweet potato half. So it's still a bit warm. It's been resting for about 25 minutes. Pastry's nice and flaky, a bit too flaky, it's breaking up a little bit. but it does taste nice. It does taste like proper Cornish pasty. Now let's go to this end. We've got the fruit in. Break that end off a little bit. It looks like the fruit is cooked well. Let's try this end for the fruit. Apple and blackcurrant is nice. I'd imagine when you get this far, you've got to be careful you don't take half of a mouthful of beef and half a mouthful of the apple, but I wouldn't thought it'd be too bad. Yeah. It hasn't gone into the other section with the meat in. Yeah. Very nice. I'll leave that for now. I'm going to let it go cold. So that's it. My traditional Cornish pasty, meat and veg at one end and fruit on the other end. There we go, one traditional Cornish pasty, meat and vegetables at one end, fruit at the other end. Let's go over here and take another bite of that. Looks very nice. Meat, potato, swede, it's all cooked perfectly, all just cooked right. Oh, can't stop eating, dog can have that bit. There we go, hope you enjoyed that one. The rest of the mix I've made, because I didn't make enough for 4 pasties. I'm actually going to make a meat and potato pie with that tomorrow with what I've got left over in the fridge. So please do check out my other videos. I hope you enjoyed that one. Next one I'm going to be cooking a meatloaf just for the 2 people. And the recipe I normally use, so it's one we've been using in the winter time. I make a meatloaf, but I'll do that on the next video to show you how I make my own meatloaf. Anyway, join me for that one. Hope you enjoyed watching this one. Look after yourselves, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.